Puniru is a slime. Puniru is a girl. Puniru is a cute slime. Puniru can be anything. Puniru is the result of what happens when you get a team of animators and artists to adapt a kawaii slime to the small screen. Based on the romantic comedy manga of the same name by Mata-kun, Puren came to our world in a 2019 one-shot in the children-oriented Koro comic magazine, before his stories started in proper release in the weekly Koro comic online service in March of 2022. In the autumn of 2024, it was turned into an anime that aired from October to December of the same year. It was directed by Yushi Ibi, with series composition from Michiko Yoko, running for the typical length of a modern seasonal anime. People like Puren, or that's what I'm planning to believe given the aftermath of the anime's airing. I am one of those people who like Puren, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to discuss why. Nobody asks how Puren is, let alone where's Puren, or how Puren is besides being a cute. Puniru is the result of what happens when a young boy named Kotaro Kari makes a science experience as a tender elementary school student, when the result of trying to bring his homemade slime to life, who takes the form of a penguin. After spending 7 years together, Puniru has now amassed the same form as of a human girl, vaguely looking like a slime still, but nonetheless, and decided to tackle on Kotaro in his second year of junior high. Kotaro and Puniru have grown up a lot, and with Puniru now tagging him more than ever before, from trying to impress local crushes, embracing the cuteness even when we seem of it, feeding off to get the daughter of a popular toy company, or trying to love criminals we never did. Puniru will prove to the world she's the cutest being who ever lived, transforming them into new forms in each episode. Off the discussion of Puniru's show, the main takeaway it wants to leave you with is kawaii or cuteness. The whole appeal of Puniru's character is trying to be cute, and lingers all over this anime. It's the defiant trait that makes you think the show is trying to be cute for the sake of being cute. However, I think it's okay that there's more to Puniru being cute than it was on the surface. Firstly, the comedy, where a sense of humor is more akin to a classic gag in the 2000s than a romantic comedy. One of the benefits is the use of slapstick, freaking in how fluid Puniru's body changes forms. Part of the joke is the various ways that Puniru engages in the environment. Take the first episode where Puniru switches into a tornado in class, or the instances as Puniru drops to the floor in joy as Kotaro tries to hide her, or when she splits herself in various bear-safe forms across school, or by the time we get to Puniru mass attack of mini Puniru because everyone wants a piece of the slime pie. There's a lot of playful uses of how the slime part of Puniru is used, made all the better by how fluid the animation is. Notably in the 7th episode, where science animals as Puniru pure red dress, there's a certain energy found in the anime that even at its lowest points of humor or jokes, there's always something going on, which is a surprise when it is the adaptation of a Koro comic, a magazine known for countless classic anime manga, such as Super Mario Kuro or the imprint version of Doraemon paper. To be fair though, not all the jokes land, just a few misses. Of note, I found a lot of them to be responsible due to Manga Tan Kairio, Kotaro's crush. I found how she's written to be this overly loving and pussy girl where she grabs everyone by the chest and to not let them go to good old fast. They completely didn't appear too much of the show to drag it down increasingly. But she is a weak link in contrast to the characters, who I feel are mostly fleshed out with subsequent personality or arcs. I suppose there's also Puniru writing about her cute as like Shrek's constant jokes about Lord Frogpot's shortness, but given the character, all less like knowing the relationship between her and Kotaro, which is quite good, does develop this more meaningfully. On its own, Kotaro's fine, more on the side of being this boy who has a learn to love but also still hate the Puniru as he encounters comedies or anime. But the only element that makes him more interesting is how he embarrassingly spread his love for cute things, not about the fact that he's followed by one of them. Early on, he's quite determined, realizing Puniru in a positive way as his vehicle for his wedding, be it getting his crush's attention or coming in for a tour he can't get on his own at the restaurant. But the more he interacts with this new side of Puniru, the further he is and grows. Puniru is reminded to him of what he truly adores as he fights and nails look like a man to the woman he loves. And while it takes a while for him to see it, he does get it to an extent. The two-part Christmas episode show this best, and the explanation of how much they mean to each other in spite of their constant fighting. So in brief tenderness between each other, Kotaro is annoying, but he's also a loser. He's the punching bag who happens to hate what he is inside to like, having to remind him to embrace it instead. And in terms of the supporting players, I do like Alice, the rich girl hairness to the land company, and her OC Runoru, who's both a friend and enemy to Puniru. Similar to Kotaro, Alice also had a thing for cute things as a small child, and like him, she has a friend of her imagination. Don't like him, her OC doesn't come to life until months later. In contrast, as Puniru and his OC befriending each other and with a tenth rivalry, all this is focused on the halfway point of the anime. Tune in for a little bit of a nice explanation into the foil and cuteness of what goes on. Not everyone's my favorite, but sans the redhead, they don't know me either. Speaking of which, if there's one word to describe Puniru, it would be childish, or childlike, or any word that starts with child. She has childlike innocence, but also is oblivious to the basic human favor, and selfish and not wanting to be surpassing cuteness. Puniru is a fantastic main character. She's entertaining, she's funny, she's charming. Yura Sasuhara is great in the world. She's a delight to follow in each episode. Even when the comedy is low, I am always constantly entertained by Puniru's presence and delivery. Similar to Kirby's censored copy ability, Puniru has her own censored gimmick and her slants are amazing, complete with a 30-second sequence. A few of them are only simple comment exchanges, while others are more diverse and turn into Puniru to many other characters, or complete change your looks. My favorite has to be Fluffy Pajama Kawaii Puniru, who also has, well, not one of the most dramatic animations. I enjoy the colors and look far more. It's warm, much like the source color myself. The specs and design make it pop so lively. I enjoy Kotaro's friends, who might have been supposed to have Doraemon and their mannerisms. I even entertained these two schoolgirls who show up at the last minute in the anime's last few episodes for no reason other than to be in the background and talk briefly. While Puniru might have a slow start in its comedy or animation, by the time Puniru boards that train and leaves Kotaro for a future, does it have the courage to stir up a mix of the fine, zestful life to keep it fresh and entertaining? I'm most like what could ask for it to start Puniru Land and be the biggest thing in cuteness. Perhaps it's really just my bias towards this type of gag I love, considering it is what got me into anime in the first place, which was Milk-chan, or even to the extent that the NXT dub was Doraemon. But even still, I think Puniru is pretty cool and I like her. I hope more people get to know her as time moves on. One could say that a blast of cuteness spending 3 months with her, it all feels like it was in a laboratory for me to enjoy. The lively colors, the bouncing animation, the pop music, sound design. Right from the moment I first noticed the ending, Puniru struck the nation. I knew it would happen. I'm looking forward to it happening again sometime soon. Hopefully, there'll be an even cuter light that makes everyone's heart melt. Remember, it's simply just fun.